What is going on, everyone? We just had the latest Pokemon Present segment, and with it we got to see more of the mechanics of Legend ZA. However, the biggest part of the video was the introduction of Mega Dragonite. Now off the bat we had very mixed feelings on the design of its Mega evolution. Commenters who were against the Mega noted that they would have liked to see a fiercer dragon with no wings on its head and instead placed them on its back. Some also noted that it looked more of a Terra-type transformation rather than a Mega evolution. Many were also disappointed at the idea that the Mega Dragonite would probably remain dragon flying and still be unable to learn a full flying moveset. One last concern I noticed is whether this Pokemon would become a pink or blue shiny or maintain its green Dragonite shiny design. Only time will tell. Looking at the pink shiny, however, I got to say the design looks better than the original. However, I would like to see it as green as well. Well, for this video, I would like to speculate on what other shiny Pokemon we can possibly expect in the game's Legend ZA. While there are possibly hundreds we can speculate on, I will reference this image which was circulated months ago. As you can see here, we have 27, well 26 now that Mega Dragonite is confirmed, possible Mega evolutions. My plan is to divide these into 4 rows from top to bottom, meaning that I will make 4 videos unless things change and new information is obtained. My goal is to find at least one possible Mega evolution for each Pokemon and discuss what type and stat boosts we can expect. I won't go too much into them, but we can at least have some fun. I'll also attempt to credit all artists based on the designs I find so you can check them out. I apologize in advance if I credit the wrong artist. Feel free to correct me in the comments. With that being said, let's get started with our top row. The first Pokemon we see is Wigglytuff. Just kidding. We have Clefable, a timid fairy Pokemon who is sensitive to noises and prefers to live on remote mountains. It is also able to glide as if it uses its wings and can walk on water through its bouncy steps. It stands at an average 4 feet 3 inches and weighs 88.2 pounds. The way I see it, we can promote its features and maybe promote the notion that when it dies, it becomes a Gengar. Let's start with its first Mega evolution. I found this Mega evolution that has been shared around quite a bit. As you can see, the art isn't too bad, particularly the wings. I like the color and size of the wings as it truly promotes its fairy aspect. Clefable appears to be the same height with obvious changes to its ears. Its tail looks bigger and puffier in the back. However, we can get a good look at it. There seems to be something else that makes it stand out, but it's hard to tell. I'm joking. By the way, there seems to be a large Digimon poop on its head. Otherwise, the description says, Mega Clefable becomes fairy flying. It has a pom-pom beret shape that starts pink and becomes white towards the top. The pom-pom is like a curly Q. It has enormous wings that stretch out behind it and to the sides, which are very simple, with the gradient from pink at the top to yellow-green at the bottom. Well, there you have it. We have our Mega Clefable, which in my opinion appears to be more of a tanky build, so we can probably expect an increase in both its defense stats and health. Next up is Mega Victreebel. Victreebel is known as a carnivorous pitcher plant Pokemon. It uses sweet scents to attract its prey. It also has a long vine on its head that it uses as a whip and to pull unsuspecting prey. It stands at an average 5 feet 7 inches and 34.2 pounds. The Mega evolution I found expands on the picture appearance of Victreebel. The design is simplistic and maintains most of its original appearance with the exception of the vine on its head expanding, suggesting that it may hide among other plants until an unsuspecting prey stands on its leaf, falling into Victreebel's pitfall trap, which then is broken down by digestive liquid. The vine around its head can also suggest that it can hang from a tree. Based on its appearance, I assume that it will also be somewhat a tanky build. I feel that its stats are probably going to be boosted slightly with the bigger emphasis going into its attack and special attack stats. Next is Mega Starmie. We actually have 2 designs that I will be showing you. Starmie is known as a mysterious Pokemon. According to the Pokédex, this Pokemon has an organ known as its core. The organ glows in 7 colors when Starmie is unleashing its potent psychic powers. It stretches out to an average height of 3 feet 7 inches and weighs 176.4 pounds. The first Mega Evolution expands greatly on Starmie's gem trait and adds 10 additional gems to its body. These gems greatly enhance Starmie's appearance, and we can assume that these gems increase its overall power. Starmie already has a higher than average stat line of 520, passing the likes of Mega Medicham. The typical Mega Evolution appears to give the Pokemon a 100 stat boost. Therefore, I feel that Starmie would experience an increase in its speed and special attack stats, continuing to make it somewhat of a class canyon. The second image expands on Starmie's water and starfish appearance and adds coral to its legs. It also expands the legs and gives it a spiky appearance. In contrast to the first image, I believe that this Starmie would receive a boost in its attack and defense stats, making it a somewhat defensive yet offensive attacker. Up next is Mega Meganium, which means it's double Mega. Meganium is known as a herb Pokemon and stands at an impressive 5 feet 11 inches with an average weight of 221.6 pounds. The Pokédex also states that Meganium's breath has the fantastic ability to revive dead plants and flowers. Its stats max out at 525, with its highest stats going to defense and special defense. The Mega Evolution that I selected for this Pokemon significantly enhances its floor appearance from dull withering petals to blooming hypnotic looking flower petals. Mega Meganium is also seen towering over other Pokemon such as Mega Absol, who stands at a measly 3 feet 11 inches. Judging by the picture, Mega Meganium is about 4 to 5 times taller, so my guess would be that it's well above 15 feet. Mega Meganium should be relatively slow, but may receive a boost in its special defense and health stats. Feraligatr, according to the Pokédex, is known as the Big Jaw Pokemon. Feraligatr stands at a whopping 7 feet 7 inches and weighs 195.8 pounds. Which is actually pretty light compared to American alligators, which weigh an average of 500 pounds. The Pokédex also mentioned that it usually moves slowly, but it goes at a blinding speed when it attacks and bites its prey. Despite it having blinding speed, it only has 8 speed stat points more than Victreebel, so I can assume most prey are safe. Most of its stats are relatively at close proximity, with its attack and defensive stats being the highest. I also found 2 Mega Evolutions for Feraligatr. The first image appears to keep the size about the same, but extends the spikes outwards a bit. Feraligatr is also given a skull-like helmet that encloses on its head. Now, we aren't too sure whether it is a helmet or its actual face. The design is simplistic and does not take away from its original design. Looking at this design, I feel that it would continue to increase its attack and defense stats the most. The next design take more Mega Swampert inspiration and greatly buffs Feraligatr's overall design and physique. Feraligatr spikes are extended substantially, and its torso and arms are all greatly enhanced. Its arms also appear to have developed spike gauntlet for protection and offense. I would assume that this Feraligatr would become tankier but also stronger. Despite this, I still feel that its attack and defense stats would experience the majority of the stat boost. The final Mega Evolution for this video is Mega Skarmory. Skarmory, according to the Pokédex, is known as the Armor Bird Pokemon. It stands at an impressive 5 feet 7 inches and weighs 111.3 pounds. The Pokédex also mentions that Skarmory is clad entirely in iron hard armor. It flies at speeds over 180 miles per hour, which is pretty fast for a large iron-plated bird. However, its speed stats are on par with Victreebel, which is insane how fast is Victreebel. Surprisingly, there wasn't that many Skarmory Mega Evolutions that I found, which deserve to be mentioned. Anyhow, the design I chose is relatively close to the original design. Mega Skarmory is slightly larger with expanding wings and talons. The blade on its head is also much longer. Mega Skarmory is now plated in gold and is combined with the green tint that in my opinion makes it look pretty good and intimidating. I can definitely see this design flying at 100 miles per hour. The original Skarmory has a very low stat line, putting it very close to Ribombee, an actual bee. Skarmory has a massive 140 defense stat, placing it in the number 27 rank of highest defense stat Pokemon. Therefore, I believe that its Mega counterpart would also increase its defense stat to 190, moving it to the number 6 spot. The rest of the stat boost can either go to speed to truly make it faster, or also divide it into its attack stat for physical moves. I'm glad Skarmory is getting some love, as most players have been wanting it to get some form of pre-evolution or evolution since its release. Well, that is pretty much for this video. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy the format of this video, or would you change a few things about it? Did you also enjoy the Mega Evolution designs that I showed today? Are there others you liked more? Make sure to check out the description box for links to each designer and further information on my channel. My goal is to release the 3 other videos to cover the entire 27 speculated Pokemon Mega Evolutions before the release of Legends ZA, so if you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and subscribing, and I will see you on the next time.